MPP coverage, you cannot have an LGM contract that is in effect after December of 2015. Okay, that's a little bit more restrictive than the roll-up procedure under 14 and 15 with LGM. But again, there is a way of transitioning. So if one were to decide to hold off until 17 for 18 coverage or 16 for 17 coverage, that can happen even if you have previous LGM contracts in the sign-up year. But again, the last coverage can't be later than December of that sign-up year.
So, Dr. Gould?
Let's look at some premiums. So here's what I did with this to generate these numbers. And those of you who are familiar with my LGM Analyzer program, I use that to generate the LGM premiums. So here's what I did. So I took the original IOFC target under MPP, $4.50 all the way to $8. I subtracted off the 14 and 15, that is the lower margin, to generate these net values. And what I did is I took those net values and I said, okay, what would be the premiums for that level of original IOFC coverage under 14-15 versus 16 to 18? And we have this premium schedule. You can see that with the elimination of the subsidization of the 14-15 MPP margins, they go up, not surprisingly, except for that $8 because that is not changed during 14 and 15 as I indicated earlier. And we're assuming less than 4 million pounds being insured under all these scenarios. So we have the premiums compared to that. And then I said, okay, given that target of 4,493, for example, for $4.50 MPP coverage, what would be the cost of the minimum cost of getting that coverage for all of my milk under LGM at alternative deductible levels? Because that premium is going to change depending upon deductible levels. And this margin is net of those deductible levels for the LGM comparisons. So you can see at $0 deductible, it's relatively expensive, but they go down when you increase your deductible, and the primary reason for that is because of the lower probability of receiving an indemnity payment when you increase the deductible, and that decreases the inherent cost of the contract, and therefore, without a higher deductible, you're getting a higher deductible, subsidy from the USDA. So they are comparable in terms of magnitudes, but there are some differences, and the differences depend upon the level of deductible under LGM versus what year you're insuring and what level you're insuring under MPP. But again, this is less than 4 million pounds. There would be a different comparison for the milk greater than 4 million pounds insured. Okay. So again, I'm a little hesitant to compare these because we're comparing the LGM premiums based on a contract that uses futures prices, whereas the MPP is based on contracts where cash prices are used. So again, different contracts, but I thought I'd provide a comparison there. Let me skip this slide because we're a little bit behind schedule here. So let's assume the following. Let's assume that we had LGM and MPP available since federal order reform in January of 2000. We have two producers, A and B. A signs up